Jeff Lang, Managing Director at Titomic, with our February investor update for 2020. As we announced last week, it was exciting times at Titomic, recently completing our $24 million sales contract for 2 TCAF machines, and also on the back of a $20 million capital raise. So times could not be better at Titomic. Our staff are excited, our sales team is pushing ahead, so great times for Titomic as far as our global expansion and moving into great sales opportunities moving ahead for this year in 2020, our year of commercial focus. So I'd like to give an update on some of the projects previously announced. Recently we've completed the actual initial trial of sending titanium parts to a Formula One racing team we previously announced. So it's great to get those parts off for that company now to start looking at testing those products with the hope that we actually end up with some large orders relative to those specific products for very high-end applications. Further to some of the other projects we've been doing too, we'd previously announced some work we were doing in the nuclear industry. One of the important aspects is that we have the ability to produce sealed containers that can hold spent nuclear fuel rods and other nuclear waste as well. So this is a very exciting area for Titomic to be able to use our technology to do something great as far as sustainability and actually reducing some toxic waste as well. The tooling area was also previously announced as a great area for us to explore revenue opportunities. So part of that, we've actually been able to deliver the parts as previously announced, and they've been tested and validated by several companies. One of those companies, being a large defence prime, has now proceeded with the purchase order for us, where we've recently completed that first full-scale tool to that customer. We're looking at orders of around 100 units a year at about $150,000 per tool. So we're definitely off and running in that tooling sector now. It's a great opportunity to continue to explore those revenue opportunities around tooling, and the fact that Titomic can deliver very fast turnaround time on those tools as well to our customers. Also an update on where we are with Boeing. Boeing is a significant company for Titomic. We've worked with Boeing since the very start of the company, and so it's important that we keep the market updated on where we are. Obviously, we received a purchase order last year from them for some aircraft parts. We have delivered some trial, smaller samples that were tested, and now we're delivering these next stage parts as well. So very exciting as far as that validation being done by Boeing, and also to see the realisation of some of the long-term strategy we have around aerospace parts. To add further to the aerospace sector, we also continue with our IMCRC project and actually have now engaged another defence prime and aerospace prime that can actually use these aerospace grade parts that we're working towards as well. So it's exciting from a long-term approach. We are realistic, and it's a 3 to 5 year journey in that area. But why we're so interested is that these are parts that can range up to $4 million each, where they require 3 parts per day. So it's exciting to be at the forefront of this technology revolution using new methods of manufacturing for these titanium parts for the aerospace industry. Some of the top secret defence work we've previously announced is now coming to fruition. Recently we've delivered some very significant titanium parts to a major defence prime in the US, and we're looking at further opportunities in that market as well. Because of the ITAR restrictions in these areas, Titomic now has to consider setting up a production bureau in the US to accommodate this interest from the defence primes, where those parts are required to be made in the US. So exciting opportunities from both the contractual obligations as far as making parts for those customers, but also the opportunity to set up production bureaus under the Titomic banner in the US as well. So we're now exploring further opportunities and scope of works with TELUS to now start on some major projects with them to actually produce specific parts across a wide range of soldier system and some other defence applications with them as well. So we'll keep the market informed as these deals continue to progress as well. While we're still on defence, we also have one of the major defence primes in the US now working with us on scoping up to 5 projects with us for very substantial large-scale titanium parts. Obviously, when Titomic started, we're all about delivering very large-scale additive manufacturing parts. And so what we're finding now with some of these defence primes, we're now scoping projects with very large-scale parts over 2 metres in length that can be produced with a TCAF system. So very exciting to do the final validation, and we've finished our scope of work, and we're now just waiting for the purchase order for that customer. These are quite significant projects that starting in the hundreds of thousands of dollars will eventually lead to multi-million dollar contract work as well. So great revenue opportunities and sales orders that will be coming through very shortly relative to these projects. Last but not least is the work we're doing in the space industry. Our main executive looks after this area, Nathaniel Miller, who's come from NASA, has really been hitting the path strongly, developing further opportunities in this sector. So we're looking at around 5 projects we recently scoped. Obviously, we've announced previously the work we're doing with Gilmore Space and Technology in Australia, and it's great to be able to work with an Australian company. So we're now in the final stages of scoping the projects with them around rocket components that we'll be working on. We're due to have that purchase order and that scope of works completed shortly. We also have a huge amount of interest from other space primes from around the world as well. So it's an exciting area for humanity as far as the commercialisation of the space industry now. So Titomic is in a very good position to be able to maximise out some of our sales opportunities we have in this sector. Obviously, with the Titomic kinetic fusion technology, it suits very favourably within the space sector, because not only can we actually lighten parts using titanium and other metals, we can actually enhance the performance properties of several products. We've been doing a lot of work recently on fuel tanks and also rocket nozzles, exhaust systems as well. So there's a huge amount of applications we can apply Titomic kinetic fusion to, and we're very excited to continue these projects as well. So as of where we are right at the moment, we're in the final stage of scoping several projects in that area, and we're looking forward to announcing them in the near future. So thank you for listening to my February update. So 2020, our year of the perfect vision, has been a great start to Titomic. So as always, Titomic kicking goals, and thank you very much for your support.